I'm glad this is healthy, right?
Well, yeah. Look, if we were to say, because I mean, I put this in because like everyone says, well, if I was to look, just because we don't see it in the blood, doesn't mean it's it's not it's not. We don't see everything in the blood. The blood is just one perspective. It's like let's have a look at the visual side of things. Then we look at all the other bits. The profile with the red boxes and stuff like that. That's what gives us the real detail. So but this, if we were to look at blood that's well balanced and it's the body's doing quite well, this is what we would see, something like this. I've done thousands of these, and I don't see blood like this anymore. Okay, I mean
It's too
I'm
hard.
really quite full on with myself, and my blood doesn't look like this. We all live in a toxic world. You can have a little bit of stuff going on, and that's no problem. The thing is, if we do have the good thing about the bloods is it can tell us where there are some stresses and how serious is that stress. Do we really need? Is it okay? Yeah, it's not bad. It's just general sort of stuff. It'll clean up, fix some digestion, clean up a bit, drink some water, whatever, um, and you'll be okay. But when we start to see some white bits, and you've got a lot of white bits, that's oxidative stress. It's where we got some cellular breakdown. Okay, so anything white, you're going to see that. It's what we call polymerized protein puddles. All right, it's a big word. Sounds horrible. It's emulsified cells. And when we have some oxidative stress and we're breaking down a bit, and we've all got that going on, and where we see it can tell us where it is in the body and how serious it is. Okay, any dark bits and any different patterns that we see. This is very similar to iridology, where people can study the eyes and you can tell what things in the body. There's clues. Same with this. Okay. All right. All right. Now we've shown you the nice picture. We'll go we'll go around and show you something
Oh my gosh.
a little bit not so nice. All right.
Blimey.
So oxidative stress. So this is where we have this is degenerative tissue environment. It's tissues that are more low in oxygen, tissues that are more acidic. Our cells are breaking down more than they're building up. Okay, and when we see these white patches, and they're quite big, these ones. This is quite full on. This one, you haven't got it on every one so much, but this is quite significant, which means we got to do something because we don't want that to keep going because this is an environment conducive to tumors. Tumors will grow in a suitable soil. Tumors need an environment. Um, sorry, when we for tumors to grow, there has to be a certain environment, otherwise they won't grow. Tumors don't like oxygen while you're struggling with oxygen. Tumors like acid, well, and that also results in low oxygen, where your tissues are acidic and you're breaking down. So it's like just because we see this, it doesn't mean you have a tumor. No, no, no. But you have an environment conducive and other things going on. Stress here, stress there, not eating properly. This not going on. This not going on. And then what we're doing is we're just increasing the vulnerability to these things. Okay, so this picture here, yeah, there's a lot of work to do. We need to clear that up. If I were to look at your bloods and say, 6 8 weeks time or something, if you do some coaching with me, we look at your bloods a few times over a few months. There's no point looking too quick because if I looked in 4 weeks time, I'm going to see a lot of what we see today because bloods take 3 months to turn over. But that needs to be turned around. Okay, we don't want those white puddles to get bigger and bigger because the vulnerability of tumors developing becomes higher and higher and higher, and then all the other factors come into it, like I mentioned just now. Okay, so that's not a brilliant picture, but you haven't got that on every plot. Okay, so it's just like we're looking when we look at bloods, we're essentially looking into the future. We're looking so
Yeah, for sure.
close that we want to see things before they manifest, and we look in the mirror or we go to the doctors and the doctor says, oh, I've got some bad news for you, or we've got this going on. Well, no, you had it going on ages ago, but you didn't look. Okay,
Yeah.
and we're looking and we're saying, okay, we're seeing, all right, liver is see these little.
I knew this, Mark. Like I've been doing like milk thistle. I knew my liver's struggling because
Yeah,
I just learned about this because my thyroid has nodules, but they say if your thyroid's affected, that means other things in the body have
yeah,
already Yeah.
It's
Okay. Sorry.
everything's linked, everything. So,
Yeah.
from the minute we wake up, from what we think, how we feel, our emotional level, our mental level, everything, what we drink, what we eat, everything has an impact. And it only has to have one impact on one tiny bit of our body, and it impacts on everything because everything's connected. Like a finely tuned motor. There's this bit, and there's this bit, and there's this bit, and there's this bit, and they all must be working together. So if you have a thyroid problem, that will be linked to things. It will be linked to some things directly, but also then that will have other impacts on other systems. And now you have a body that's, and your body is like this. It's a little bit like your, how do I explain it? Like a little bit like when we have biochemical chaos, which you do, it's just all over the place. That's often reflected in mental and emotional chaos. Okay, because our
Yeah.
emotional energy and our mental energy, how we see the world, how we react to the world, is commonly linked to how our internal, how our biochemistry is seeing the world. And if it's in chaos and it's struggling because it's trying to do all this and it's trying to do all this and it's managing this because it's keeping you alive, it's doing this, it's doing this, doing this, doing this. It takes so much away from your from your emotional side of things and your mental side of things, and a lot of anxiety is to do with that. You wake up in the morning feeling like crap, aches and pains and this and that, and you don't have energy, you can't sleep. You're not going to feel really good. Okay.
Of
And
course.
one of the
Yeah.
things, when I work with my clients, when I'm giving them some guidance on some coaching, we deal with these things. If we've got insomnia, we've got anxiety, we've got some depression, we've got these things going on, we've got to really focus on it. So I do a lot of work on the mind as well. That takes more time. Like it's like we've got to try and calm the body down a bit, calm the mind down a bit, and then we let the body, because the more stressed we are, you would know this anyway, but the more stressed we are, and we have some depression, we have some of this frustration and whatnot, that suppresses the body's ability to heal. So if we can
Yeah.
remove that, lift it, then the body goes, right, now I have more means to do something because I'm not being held down, I'm not being suppressed. Okay. All right. So
Okay.
so that's liver spots, those little round things there. They can pop up anywhere. And you've got a little bit of oxidative stress there, that white stuff. It's not too bad, but it's just some general stuff, oxidation, oxidative stress throughout the body. On the outer edge, it's not too bad. Okay. Oh, there's another couple of liver spots. Don't worry about this darker stuff. That doesn't really mean something. There's something on the slide.
Okay.
Apart from that, that's not too bad around there. Quite happy with that. If I saw these big white puddles everywhere on every blot, I'd be like, you really should go and get some testing, go and get just checked out, because what I'm looking at is not. This is like your body is under serious stress, and
Okay.
20% of the samples that I do are precancerous. All right, meaning that I'm seeing an environment that you are under, you're under the hammer with this. You really got to do something about it. All right, there's a couple of things on here. Toxic colon. That's that. So in the middle of these samples is in our gut area, our digestive area, sort of thing, more than anything. And you can see that really dark area. That's black. That's fibrin. It's a clotting protein. Okay, well, and clotting protein is to stop us. The reason we didn't bleed to death when we took we took a little sample is because we have clotting proteins. We have platelets, but we also have a clotting protein which stops you bleeding. It's healing, and when we have stress in the body, strong stress, there'll be a lot of it because there's a lot of stress going on, and this is in the colon area. Okay, and that big blob is like toxic colon. So you we know your digest you it's no I'm sure it's no surprise to you that your
Yeah.
digestive system is out, and this is where even now we start to get to, well, there's that's a little bit of work to do because we can't just do it on its own. It's linked to everything else, and this is why it gets a little bit more complex if you don't have more focus and more guidance, because otherwise you're just going to be lost. um,
Yeah.
the other thing too, to see this little thing here, this is
Yeah.
uh, do you have anything going on with your back of your neck, shoulders, or some stress or something going on?
So Mark, I think I'm pretty sure my adrenals and my cortisol is shot right now. And so un unconsciously I'm continually like it's not even conscious. I have to, even if I'm like, put your arms down, they just go up from I don't they just yeah, constantly my neck is killing me.
Okay, yeah, well, that's usually the neck, back of the head, neck, that one. Isn't it amazing how these things show up in the blood? It's just like,
So crazy.
how
Yeah.
do you know that? Well, it's just, well, we're looking, you're a book and we're reading it now.
Yeah.
Um, so that's that. And I think there's a bit more here. You see any of these little lines? There's another one there. And I think there might be one more. Yes, there is. Oh, here we go. It can pop up anywhere. And
So
if I were to look at your, your blood in 10 years' time, we'll probably still see some because it's structural. And sometimes that doesn't really change. Even if you fix something broken, you'll still see the stress in the body. It'll show up.
yeah.
Um, you can see this oxidative stress, this white stuff. See, the puddles aren't so big here, which is good. We don't want to see them too big like we did on the first one. So what was I going to? So that's, but it's just like, okay, well, we're heading that way. Got to change it. Okay. Your lymphatics are congested quite bad.
Okay.
So our detoxification pathways are blocked. And this is very closely linked to digestive issues. Low stomach acid. You got low stomach acid, no question. You're not digesting protein properly. Okay, when we're not digesting protein properly or very effectively, what happens is these protein molecules, the large protein molecules that can pop out of the bloodstream and actually go into the lymphatics, they can't come back in because of the pressure, and they stay in the lymphatics. And if and with our lymphatics are all about movement, all about stimulation, and sometimes the more we get, we can start getting some congestion, and when we get some congestion, then flow stops, and then we get a buildup of acidity, and this is very, very common. Nearly everybody I work with are going to have some lymphatic congestion. Okay.
Okay.
And it's a band that goes, it's sort of on the outer edge more than anywhere. So that's one. I come down here, you can see there's quite a bit of it here. You can see in the middle to the left, not so bad, but this is all around the edge. Okay, so you're not detoxing properly. It doesn't matter what you do, what you take. Your body's not able to detox very well. And if your
I
body's
know.
not able to detox very well, this just gets back to what you talked about, it doesn't matter what you do, you can't seem to lose weight. That's because your body's toxic. And your body can't
I
clear
do
those
know.
toxins,
Yeah.
okay? Wraps it up into a
Yeah.
fat cell, stashes away in the tissues. And so do we hit the weight loss with a hammer, or do we clear the pathway? Do we open up the pathway? Do we, as you probably know, like everything I focus on is like we build the body from the ground upwards, and we don't try and do the healing. That's what the body does. But we must give the body the environment it needs to do the healing. Okay,
Yeah.
and having a lymphatic system that's congested is preventing it from doing certain things, and that has an impact on everything. All right, so that's the lymphatics area. I think there's another one. Oh no, oh yes, that's another one. Lymphatics around the edge is not too bad there. There is a couple of, this is structural as well. This little line here, little line here. Okay.
Is that the neck still, Mark? Those
Yeah,
lines that
look,
you
I can't tell. All I can
oh, no
tell is
worries.
structural, and depending on if we come up to the top here, this one here, usually this one, when it sticks out like that, it's usually in
Yeah.
the neck, just behind the head, neck, shoulders, something
Okay.
like that. It's, when I pick that, it's you because I don't ask that question. It's always good for you to see it because you go like, I didn't tell you about that. How do you know? And
No,
it's really good to sort of.
I definitely know. Like you're not a hard sell for me. I
No,
followed you for a long
I
time.
love this. I love when I say I love this. I don't like working with. Wish I'd never had to work with. But you know what? It's really good to be very confident with what we're looking at, so that when we do something,
Yeah.
we're not just guessworking and well, try that and see you in 6 weeks and then we'll see how it goes. Oh, that didn't work. We just wasted 6 weeks. Oh, I don't waste time. All right. So we've looked at the body. We know we've got a bit of stress going on. We know we've got some gut stuff going on. We know we've got a lot of oxidative stress. We know the liver's blah, blah, blah. We sort of know that. You know that anyway. But now we're
Yeah.
seeing the visual side of that.